Yeah, this is the car that sort of inspired me to do this. Camera with the light, you can see it just looks so cool. So now I'm gonna drive it for just a little bit because it's leaking and it needs to be fixed mechanically. So that's unfortunate. Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube, and today is sort of a Ferrari day with some good news and then some bad news and then some bad news. So I'm here in my garage without a Ferrari because both of them are gone. I guess the 456 is in the hangar, but the two mid-engine V8 cars, the F355 is back up at the Car Wizards for another round of repairs due to leaks, and the Ferrari 458 Italia convertible, the salvage title 86,000 mile hoopty that I bought a few months ago, is finished at Van Gogh. Now I made a choice, so I made a stylistic decision mostly to hide the blemishes on this car, which are numerous. I could have had it repainted, could have had it wrapped a different color, but I really wanted to try out this new PPF from Ceramic Pro that basically wraps the car in a protective coating, but also gives it a matte finish. This car has sort of a matte finish over the years from nature. It needs a good buff, but I'm trying to do that intentionally, and the cars that I've seen done so far, they look really, really neat, but I've never seen it done on a red Ferrari. So we're gonna pick it up today and drop off this one to make it, well, not matte. We want it to buff up and look all pretty at Van Gogh. But in addition, that Ferrari 458 is leaking something, I believe coolant. So both Ferraris, after spending $20,000 on the F355, it's leaking in numerous places. And the 458, after spending, well, around $10,000, it's still leaking from at least one place. And I'm sure it's not going to be the Car Wizard's fault, or really anybody's fault other than maybe the previous owners and their neglect or lack of maintenance. And when you buy a car cheap, like I do, or prefer to do so, you have to expect those things. Yeah, the car wasn't taken care of perfectly every day, and you get it for a cheap price, and it's gonna take 2 or 3 rounds of repairs or more to make them, well, whole. My Murcielago is a fantastic example of this. It took a little over a year to fully sort that car out. Same goes for the Diablo and the Countach. So Lamborghinis, it was last year. This year, it's Ferraris. But obviously don't feel sorry for me because I really, really enjoy doing this. I enjoy wasting money. So, well, let's hit the road in this BMW. But before we head over to Van Gogh to see the Ferrari, I'd like to thank FanDuel for sponsoring today's video. FanDuel allows you to bet on your favorite sports securely and easily using your computer or phone app. And with the PGA Tour in full swing, FanDuel is the best place to tee off, as they are the official betting operator of the PGA Tour and have all of your favorite bets to choose from. What I like about it personally is all the options you have for betting. Let's say you're new and you only want to spend a few dollars. They have beginner contests, or you want to have the full roster or a single round, or just bet on your favorite player. My money's on Rory. FanDuel has you covered, especially with their current offer for Hoovie's Garage fans. Right now, new customers get $200 in free bets guaranteed when they place their first $5 bet exclusively on the FanDuel app. Just sign up using the code Hoovies. So get in on the action with tournament winners, top 5 finishes, match betting, and so much more. If you haven't tried FanDuel, now is certainly the time to do so, which is linked below, and be sure to use the code Hoovies. Disclaimer is in the description. Well, Stuart,
what'd you bring?
Well, it is a matte tired original paint 325i, but I think it'll clean up. Only 80,000 original miles on it. Like even the original windshield, you see like the code for the anti-theft system?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think this is
I want this one shiny.
Yes.
Not matte like what we're going to go look at, but you can see.
This is kind of cool. It's like doing the opposite.
Yeah, it's gone a little pink.
Yeah.
And then the owner, he was a motorcycle guy, and his wife knocked over the motorcycle. The handle went into the hood there. I don't want to paint it, obviously.
Yeah, since it's all original. Yeah, I tell you what, we'll do some PDR on that, and then touch it up. We'll get this whole touch-up paint out, PDR, buff it, touch it up.
Cool.
And I think that'll really help it.
It should turn out. I don't know about the lower bumper, because once again, original paint, but...
Yeah, you know what though, I think, again, we'll get it cleaned up, I'll touch it up. Okay. And maybe I'll shoot you a pic, see what you think of it touched up. And that way you have all your original paint salon.
Okay.
But we'll try that first. But I know all this, Tyler, will come up.
Awesome. Well, I don't want to dwell on it for too long because obviously there's something big going on inside.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But even this.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, it'll... There we go. The first buff.
There we go.
Anyway, can we go see it? the Ferrari.
You want to see it?
Please, please, please.
All right, let's go. It looks a little different than it did. So,
yeah.
Hey, we got some
furniture.
Furniture.
Okay.
So we're still kind of working on this. We got to wire it, put it together, and then it's going right up there.
Okay.
And then it'll be lit up.
Very nice.
We're an elite dealer now for Ceramic Pro, so this is lit up. It goes back there. So Misty, our receptionist, will have a halo on over her head.
Very nice.
A ton of light.
Well, speaking of Ceramic Pro, I guess I have them to thank on this thing, right? A little bit.
Yes.
They sponsored some of this.
They did.
Yeah, this is the car that sort of inspired me to do this. So this is not a wrap. This is the factory salvage title, terrible repaint finish that we kind of glammed up with a Ceramic Pro sort of translucent, what do you call it, guard? Or?
Yeah, it's a matte paint protection film.
Okay.
And we use Ceramic Pro. It's called Kavacha. And so it's a real paint protection film, different than a wrap. What the cool thing about this is you can take a gloss car and make it matte. The cool thing about the Kavacha is you can take bad paint and it'll hide a lot of flaws. It'll protect it, of course. You're not going to get rock chips in it. You don't have to wax this car. You just have to wash it. But it took, remember how bad the paint used to look?
Oh, terrible.
And the only way really to fix this vehicle was to repaint it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, we put the Kavacha on, and hides all those flaws. Now there's still some flaws in it.
Yeah.
There's some clear coat issues where some of the clear is wanting to peel.
Yeah.
So we had a few areas there.
This was sort of the buff spot that you could really, in the gloss it looked absolutely terrible. And this it's a little more subtle for sure. The spot here too.
There's one up there, yeah.
Yeah. It's not as obvious.
You don't pick up on it quite as easily. And it just hides all that bad, there was mismatched paint there. They really kind of put this together awful fast.
It was not done carefully. I can't believe a car this nice and expensive was repaired so shoddily. So and you did say
in the backyard somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, you did say that you noticed some things that weren't right, and unfortunately they've affected the wrap a little bit.
Yeah, they did affect the wrap. So the prancing horse on the back. So I'm hiding it, so you can't.
Okay, yeah, you're standing there.
They painted over it, and when they repaired this and they cleared over the prancing horse. Well, so when we take the prancing horse off to try to do the matte,
take the clear off, right?
Took the clear off, and it left too big of a ridge. And the reason why normally what we do is sand it.
It looks like the horse is vomiting there a little bit.
It almost looks like it's off or something. Yeah. So the reason why we couldn't sand it was because this has already been sanded so much. Mm-hmm. If I tried to feather this edge, these are for the painters, that if I tried to sand this, then I would burn it there. We'd end up painting this bumper anyway. So the goal was not to have to paint anything.
Okay.
So unfortunately, we have a little area here. So what we're going to do when the car comes back is we'll take some heat, we'll rub this out, try to fix this up. If not, I have another idea.
Okay.
Because that's the worst spot on here. A couple of these things here I'm not worried about. We'll fix those later. Mm-hmm. But I have an idea for this. Okay. So we'll match the things on the front, and if that will work. So.
But like any wrap, so you drive it for a little while, it kind of sets in. Yeah. It'll lift in a few spots, and then you fix that, and then it's pretty.
Make it what's called a finger, like you do in window tint.
Okay.
And that's what the 10-day inspection's for. We'll get all that fixed and taken care of for you.
So, I love it.
Yeah, I just think it turned out.
I was worried it was going to be kind of controversial and polarizing, but I mean, how can you not like that? Especially when this car was all red, so it kind of breaks it up a little bit, to be honest, because the red interior was kind of shiny and this was shiny. So now the lines of the car too are just so cool.
I know.
I love it.
Just think it turned out great.
You nailed it.
A shout out to Ceramic Pro, teaching us how to do Kavacha and getting us involved in it. So this is the Kavacha by Ceramic Pro. Just love the stuff. Yeah,
I would say pictures don't do it justice. So going across it with the camera, with the light, you can see it just looks so cool. So now I'm going to drive it for just a little bit because it's leaking and it needs to be fixed mechanically. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. But thank you. Weezered.
This thing looks It's like a new car.
It looks really smooth, doesn't it?
Man, that's nice.
I like it a lot. They left this at their wrapping location. They'll put it back on when I go back, the little side marker lights, so nothing to worry about there. But I do think they ran the battery down because the AVH light and the airbag light's on. But that's not the reason why I'm here. The reason why it's here is because it's leaking still.
Got another leak.
Yes, so we had it on a dyno. They had to take the belly pan off that we just bought, over $1,000 to strap it on, and it was quite gooey.
Quite gooey?
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely need to... We can have Daniel get it on the lift and take the pan off.
Okay.
And then we can take a look and see where it's coming from.
All right. Well, in the meantime, there's the Ferrari and Aston Martin over there. I know you have some news, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, two very expensive to service cars right here. You went and looked up the parts prices on the Vanquish, and they've gone up since the last time we did this. So $6,000 in parts for a tune-up and a coolant bottle, which was giving a warning on this thing saying the coolant was low, and it isn't. That was, what was that one? $1,100, $1,500?
Yeah, $1,500 after shipping and everything.
So $6,000 in parts, 12 coils that were almost $2,000 by themselves. It was just absolutely insane. But the Ferrari, well, there's been $20,000 put into this thing, and it's still leaking, unfortunately.
It is.
Is it as bad as it looks?
No. We did find the shift shaft seal where the shifter rod goes into the transmission. That's the worst of all of it.
Okay.
That's like a 30-minute job and $10.
Really?
So that won't be a big deal.
Okay. So is that my big leak?
Yeah, that's the biggest leak. And then we found, I don't know if you can see them. Down that big braided red colored hose.
Okay.
There's 4 of those.
It's huge.
And it's a common failure point on these, and it's seeping through the steel mesh. It's dripping oil out. They don't make them anymore. They haven't made them in a long time, but there's a company I found that can rebuild them. It's $1,000 per hose.
And how many hoses again?
4.
Okay. But it's not dripping. It's just like, it's just starting to sweat a little bit.
It's sweating, yes.
We'll leave that alone. And when I had it up for alignment over at Johnny's, he mentioned maybe the rack was leaking too?
Yeah, we checked that, and it is still not leaking. We took the boots off. They're dry.
Okay.
But what we did find is we did do some work up front, and we got some goo on one of these ducts.
Oh, a little spillage.
This is old, yeah.
So that's the Wizard's fault. A little spillage.
Yep, we can clean that up and put it back on.
Oh, how dare you. Wizard, all right. I see the Ferraris up in the air. Let's get this juvenile. Man, this is gorgeous. Where'd this come from?
This is my 308. I had it repainted.
I know. It's over there.
Oh,
so.
Okay, sorry.
Is this another early carbureted one?
No, this one's got the Bosch fuel injection. It's the GTSI.
Oh, okay.
You can see there's the distributor head and
the plenum
and a different setup.
So what are we doing here at belt service?
Yeah, it's a long list. Belt service. There's like 2 pages worth of stuff. He's got parts he wants us to all put on. And real nice guy. So.
Oh, okay. Well, Danielson's digging around the Ferrari, and you seeing my leak?
I see nothing. It's as dry as a bone.
Is he just pleading ignorance because he works on the car? He didn't.
There's nothing.
It's
dry as a bone.
Okay.
We got the big panel off of here. Let's go take a look at that and see if it's wet.
Okay, I have video evidence that this thing was covered in goo a few weeks ago, and there's no goo.
Looks like maybe, did it get rained on, or there's nothing here?
Surely I didn't just drive in the rain and then it got wet on the drip pan and dried out. Am I really?
I don't have an answer for you. There's nothing wet under there.
Okay, so it's still dry, but it needs to be up here anyway because the folks at Valvetronic, they're insisting that I put these down pipes on here, and the sound will be even better.
And it will be for race purposes only,
oh,
off-road.
Of course, for race purposes only. So, and they even brought these little, yes, those.
Yes.
Okay. So then we have oxygen sensors and maybe no check engine light.
Correct.
But then we have a noise for test purposes only, for off-road track use.
That's correct.
Exactly. Apparently it's supposed to make it sound like a Formula One car, which already sounds fantastic with that valved exhaust that I can turn on and off, but Mo Better is Mo Better.
It is Mo Better.
So I'll leave it be, and I guess I can take the Beck Spyder home, right?
You can.
So my big complaint with this Beck, ever since I got it, was the transmission. I didn't like it. It felt like sort of an old Volkswagen, noisy, kind of worn out transmission, which makes no sense. So after a year and driving it like 200 miles, we sent the transmission off to get fixed. The 4th year whine was gone, but then it was popping out a second worse than ever. So it still felt really bad. And
right.
I guess you were able to fix it?
Yeah, there's a plate on the back of the transmission. I guess we could open this up and take a
Sure.
look. So you see the shiny aluminum plate on the back of the transmission?
Yeah.
We had to remove that. According to them, we talked to Rancho, the guy at Rancho, and he said, I need to send that off to a machine shop and have a relief milled into the back, and that would it was like a defect or something. That would solve it.
So basically it was touching the shifter itself and stopping me from like downshifting this second. It was binding up because it was hitting on that plate. So you were able to grind it down yourself?
Yes, I have a mill here in the shop, and I was able to machine it myself, and it's perfect now.
Okay, well, so not too expensive. The biggest part of the labor was just removing and reinstalling the transmission, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, I guess I'm good to go. The keys are in it. Let's hit the road. Oh, man, it's low. Ah, there's a bill to be paid.
There's always a bill to be paid.
Okay.
$1,426.89. Thank you for your payment, sir.
Wowza. Well, it sucks to have to do something twice. It's not your fault, obviously.
Yeah.
But if it works, if this thing is fixed and drives like it's supposed to, totally worth it. So I'm out of here. Thank you, Wizard.
No problem.
Engage. All right, it is good. Let's put it in 4th. Totally quiet. That's awesome. Let's downshift. Oh, it went right into 2nd. So smooth. It's fixed. Yes. The transmission was such a huge letdown on this car before. And now, it was obviously bunching up in a lot of places because it shifts so much better. It feels so much tighter now. And I'm in 4th, I'm in top gear, and I don't have that dentist whine going through my ears from that transmission. The bearing fixed it. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. And I can downshift. Before, it would just pop out in your hand. It wouldn't even go into gear. It was awful. Oh, yes. What a fantastic car. Man, it was a 2-year wait to just get the rolling chassis of this thing, and then several months to put it together, and then, well, a year of me just kind of fuddy-dudding, kind of being frustrated and procrastinating on it, not getting the transmission fixed. Oh, I wish I did it way, way sooner. Oh yeah, down in 2nd. Perfect. You can get one of these with a turbo, but I don't know why you would. It'd be downright dangerous. Oh yeah, works out just fine. Now if you're gonna try and buy one of these new, it's like a 3-year wait for as long as I waited basically on this car to have it to this point. And pricing wise, it's a pretty good investment. I think I'm about $45,000 into this thing, and the one just sold, I'm bringing a trailer with more miles for $69,420. Nice. So I'm sitting pretty good in this Beck. What an amazing transformation. Thank you so much, Rancho Transmission, for fixing it, and the folks at Beck Special Edition for helping us solve this problem, and of course, the Car Wizard, and you all for watching.